Hi, this is Dave with NTI Online, and today I'm going to walk you through replacing the plate heat exchanger in your Combi FTVN or TRX199. The process will be effectively identical. If you have a TRX150 Combi, the process is actually the same, but it's a little bit tighter, a little bit less space to get in there. But what you're going to want to start by doing is draining your boiler down. So I've already isolated this boiler from the system. I'm going to open the bleed valve up here. That's going to allow a little bit of pressure that may have built up out of the unit. It's also going to allow some air back in so that when I start draining, I get all of the water out of the product. So you can see the water coming out now, and you'll notice that if I close up my bleed valve, the water starts to stop, and of course if I open it, more comes out. So I'll let that drain. While this is occurring, it's a good idea to unplug the boiler and plug it back in. Do that several times. That is going to operate the diverting valve, allowing more water to drain from the system. Now that we have the boiler drained and all of the water's out, we can proceed with opening up the cabinet and removing our plate exchanger. So I'm going to lower this down. If your boiler has the metal brackets here and here, you can remove those screws, and if this makes your life easier, you can slide this control box out of your way. For the most part though, you can do this job with this in place, so I'll leave that up to you. You'll need a 4mm Allen key or something equivalent. And there's 2 screws in here. We'll show you a close-up of those. Now, when you're doing this, there's always a small amount of water that's left in the plate that is going to come out. So it's not a bad idea to have a couple of rags or paper towels on hand just to absorb that. So you press your plate towards the rear of the boiler. You can slide that in behind the bypass valve that's in the back there. You can see a bit more water is leaking out from the bottom. I've already got a drip pan to take care of that. Once you take these out, it's a good idea to look at the water that's coming out. This one's a bit like chocolate milk, which is a bad sign. We've got the boiler side up here and your domestic side down on the bottom. Obviously, if you're taking this out, something went wrong. If it's leaking, you're just going to swap in a new one. If it was clogged on the domestic side due to scale buildup, you may want to soak this in cleaner before you put it back in. However, it is a relatively easy component to replace, and oftentimes labor is worth more than the part, so it might be better just to change it if it's becoming scaled up on the domestic side. If your boiler water side is scaling up, see our video on water treatment. It's really important you treat the water because it will just keep happening. And to reinstall this, the reinstallation is the reverse of disassembly. One thing you want to do, run your hand back here and you're going to feel for the rubber gaskets. So there should be 4 rubber gaskets housed in the brass. Sometimes they'll stick to the plate, sometimes they fall out. And the ones that fall out are going to give you a headache because you won't notice until it's too late. So once we felt, make sure that all 4 rubber gaskets are still in place. You can either replace those or reuse them, and we're going to reinstall our plate exchanger. Okay, now when you go to reinstall your new plate exchanger, on this one the chevrons go towards the top, and that would be your boiler water on top, domestic water on the bottom. There's a very slight offset in these 2 nutserts. It won't actually allow you to install this backwards, so if you were to try and take a brand new one and stick it in the wrong way around, what you'll find is one of these is just going to butt up against the brass and will no longer fit. So if that's the case, just flip it around. My guess is that on all of them, this sticker is going to be on the top and your chevrons will point upwards like this one does. And to reinstall it, it's just the reverse of disassembly. We're going to put this back in, lightly install both screws, then tighten them up, refill our boiler with water, and put the boiler back in service. Okay, our plate exchanger has been reinstalled. Before you put the boiler back into service, or at least before you start filling it, reach around, shine a light in there, make sure that you have the right number of gaskets. So if you put 4 new ones in, make sure you have 4 in your hand and not 5. Also, just make sure there isn't one missing in there, because you don't want to find out that a gasket's leaking after you start filling it. Once you're sure you've got all the gaskets, we're going to refill the boiler. Now that we've got our plate exchanger reinstalled, we've checked for leaks, the boiler's full, and we've bled all the air. Make sure to tighten up your air bleeder up here, double check for leaks, put the boiler back into service, and I hope we found that helpful. If you did, give us a like and a subscribe, and you can also always call us at tech support 800-688-2575. Thanks for watching the video today. If you'd like to check out more videos, see the link below. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our channel for all the future updates, and also check us out on Facebook, LinkedIn, and Instagram.